Yeah, no kidding,
Uh,
bro. Anyone that
uh,
doesn't like watching this on YouTube freaking knows a sunburn.
just as red. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
me and your hat are freaking looking exactly alike, bro.
same color. I always tell my wife, I was like, yeah, you married the right person. Pasty and tasty. That's exactly what I am.
Yeah, no kidding, bro. Yeah, and like we're going through like this heat wave right now, like in the States, like where I live up in like the Mountain West, we're in like this heat bubble,
Yeah.
and so it's supposed to be like 107 degrees tomorrow. So I escaped to the mountains, which it's like 40 degrees cooler up here, but freaking the sun is like right, you know.
Yeah.
So obviously I got fried.
It's like it doesn't matter how long you're going to be in that sun.
I know, dude. I should have, you know, what I should have done. I should have picked a better day to go see the invite. I should have went and saw the invite today and avoided the sun, but I went Thursday night. Is the invite in Australia yet?
Uh, I don't think yet.
Okay, Seth
Uh,
Rogen and Olivia Wilde and all those peeps.
no, not yet. I don't think. I have seen the poster for that. Sometimes it's weird because sometimes, like some movies, we get all at the same time as you, and in other movies, um, like like it'll be a week later or 2 weeks later. It's weird. Like what was it? There's a movie that came out last year called In Time, and when it came out here, it was going on to digital worldwide the next day.
That sucks.
I was like, well, what's the point of that?
That sucks, man. Yeah, I went inside the other day. It's really good, man. It got a lot of buzz at like Sundance, but when I went to try to see it at Sundance, God, it was impossible to get in that movie because there's the amount of people that were waiting in line for that. Um,
It's
so
Sundance.
freaking Sundance Film Festival, but
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was all filmed in like just one apartment, and Seth Rogen's in it, and he's freaking awesome, and
Mm.
it's yeah, it was like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Not ever seen. One of the funniest movies I've seen in the last 5 years or so. Which I don't see a lot of comedies anymore. Like I didn't even see Scream, not Scream, Scream, scary movies.
Scary movie.
I didn't even see.
I don't think you missed a total. I went to the premiere for that, and I had high hopes, and I got out. I was like, laughed a couple of times, but like it felt more like those other ones. Like it was a epic movie, superhero movie. Like it felt more like that than a scary movie.
I loved the Epic movie that first time I watched it, and then the second time I was like, this is not that funny.
No, no. First time, yes. Second time, no.
Oh man, dang. But God, what was I gonna say? Well, I'm gonna do an intro real quick, and then I have a question, a very important question for you. First one is thanks for coming on. This is our 50th episode celebration, so we're highlighting all the creators that help us make this show what it is, and we fucking couldn't do this without our like main superhero attraction. Like anytime a superhero movie comes out, like we gotta talk about it and see what Mr. Rand says, and so yeah, we just couldn't do it without you. But I do have a question, bro. We're in the month of July. We've got two Dune trailers and zero Doomsday trailers, man. What the hell happened? Like you're my inside guy. What's going on? Why are they holding off the
Ah,
trailer?
I it's I'm just as annoyed as you are, but I reckon it's all being held off until July 25th. July 25th is when Marvel returns to San Diego Comic Con, and I think that's when they're gonna
Mm.
drop drop it.
When is this?
To the 25th of July.
When is that, bro? How close are we to that?
2 weeks, 2 weeks away.
Oh, okay. Huh. You think that's when they're going to drop it? Is it the comic?
Ah, I reckon they're going to drop it there because that will be less than 5 months to when the movie comes out. You're right, we've had two Dune trailers. Pretty much every major film this year has had some form of full trailer except for Doomsday. I am going to take a wild swing and say maybe it's because they want to be after Spider-Man and they're trying to take any hype away from Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Because Spider-Man comes out the 31st of July.
Dang. Huh. Because like it.
And we just got a little tidbit that Black Widow is going to be in Spider-Man as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elena's going to be in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. I wonder what role she'll play.
because there's some kind of Comic-Con or event in China at the moment with Kevin Feige's at, and he's just revealed like the artwork for Doomsday. And he just said how, Elena's going to be returning in Doomsday. And he was like, also, if you do really want to see her, she's going to be appearing in some upcoming movie as well.
Interesting. But the upcoming movie wasn't referring to Doomsday. He was referring to Spider-Man.
There's no other movie.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
Because, I was, like the Dune trailer, the one that just came out, like it was very plot heavy and it was a good 2.5 minutes long. Like we got the teaser way back when. Now they gave us like a full trailer, and I'm like, that comes out the same day as Doomsday. And so if they do release it on the 25th, I hope it's like freaking like a good trailer, like a 2.5 minute, 3 minute long
It
trailer.
has to be.
Yeah,
It has to be a full.
Yeah, because he gave us a teaser, in December. It was a whole bunch of just whatever.
Nothing. It was nothing.
And they made us go to the theater 4 times. I guess you have to go to the theater. You could wait until it comes out on YouTube. But just a whole bunch of nothing. You're like, okay, there's Black Panther walking. Here's the Thing talking. Here's Captain America having a kid, and that's it.
And driving off. Probably the most interesting is probably Thor.
Yeah, that's true. His was the best one. I feel like a return to like the Thor that I think we all know and love from Ragnarok and Infinity War.
Yeah, very much so. It's funny because like all this hype for Dune, and I just feel like Doomsday, like because it's just obviously coming out the same day. It's like it's really cool, but anyways, just step aside and then let's look at this.
I was thinking, like, which one am I going to see first? And I'd probably have to be Doomsday, bro. Because, like, I don't want it. It's just spoilers. It's just spoilers, and like for people like us that have, Instagram accounts and that do a lot of like business via Instagram. I mean, you can't. I don't want to open that app, freaking watching, and then see some kind of spoiler. It's like, oh, I wish I could have freaking waited until the theater. No, you got to be opening night, Doomsday.
Have to be. It will be spoiled so quickly. And the hard thing is at the moment with the AI is that if you've been watching those AI trailers, you have no idea if you have been spoiled and it is a leak or it's just fake.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the AI too. Like the AI, I'm not super tricked by AI, but there have been some where I'm like if it was clips like 5 seconds or less, I think I would have been tricked, but the longer it goes on, you're like, no, this is definitely AI.
This could be fake.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so 1 6 is wife. But yeah, 100%.
Dude, how is your wife?
She's good. She's good. She's going good.
Good, man.
She's like just text me saying, "Have fun with your recording."
Dude, that's cool, man. Well, I want to get started, man. Like, you grew up in Australia, right?
Yes.
A little bit about your childhood, where you grew up, what did you like to do? Did you always know you liked movies back then? Like, what was it like growing up, like where you grew up?
So I'm from Australia, Victoria, Melbourne. Always lived here. And I had a good childhood. But I guess what really was the first thing I still remember as a kid getting me so sucked in was watching the Batman animated TV series. And I think that's a lot for a lot of people. Is that I remember seeing as a kid and just getting so obsessed with this. It was dark. It was different. It wasn't like Teletubbies, anything like that. It wasn't anything happy or anything you saw on Fox Kids or anything like that. This was just something that was so dark and different. And I remember that's where I fell in love with Batman, and that's where. Like for example, like on the 75th anniversary of Batman, I got a tattoo of Batman on my shoulder. I don't know if I'll see it that way.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So it's the Batman symbol breaking up the bats up my shoulder. That's where I fell, and that's kind of was the beginning when I fell in love with the comics. I started buying comics. Watching Superman, the animated TV series, Still, Batman was better. Um, and then it's also a couple of years on, and then Tobey Maguire's Spider Man came on the big screen, and that was such a big thing. It was like, oh my god, a live action Spider Man, and it just kind of evolved from there. And then, like X-Men as well. I got so interested invested in this universe of superheroes and comic books. And what also along that way, what also got me to is that my old man would always make me sit down like on a Saturday night, and we'd watch. It was obviously free to air TV back then, which makes me feel old. But there'd always be like Indiana Jones, or there'd be Terminator, or there'd be Fifth Element, or something like that. And or Ghostbusters, and he always say to me, like, sit down, you need to watch this, and you need to watch this. And I remember falling in love with Back to the Future. I thought that was so cool. Time travel, and going love Back to the Future. Had it on DVD, sorry, VHS tape back then. And I just got all loved, and still, even when 2008 when Iron Man came out, I remember telling my friends at the time, being like, "It's connected. It's all connected. You have no idea what they're going to do, what this is going to lead to." And some of my friends were like, "Yeah, it'll be a while." I'm like, "Yeah, it is going to be a while." So we actually finally see it all come together. Technically, yes, we did get Avengers, but it wasn't until Infinity War we actually got everybody involved. Between all that time, I always saw people on YouTube and podcasts, and talking about these movies. People talking about it on Instagram, and I think, wow, it was so cool to do that. And I used to follow this podcast. They're still around today. They're called Mr. Sunday's Movies.
Oh, dude, I love those guys. Every single Sunday, I listen to these guys. I wonder if you have a connection to them, or you listen to them somehow.
I do listen to them. They were also partial of my inspiration of starting the podcast, and I'm pretty sure I've been like this close twice at a premiere. I can't remember which guy it is. I think it's the main guy. He's been at the same premiere, and I've been like this close. Every time I want to go up and say thank you, he's either dashed a different way, or he's been with his family, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be that really weird guy that's been like, oh my god, I'm such a big fan. Sorry, you're with your family.
Best movie ever. Their rating system.
Yeah, it is. I remember watching them as well on YouTube and thinking, I could do that. Like I could do I could do that. And I guess what really was the big push was COVID. COVID was the big push, which a lot of podcasts have spawned from COVID. And I thought at the time, I was like, well, no, look, like why not? Like why not try and do this? I remember seeing the ads so before Spotify podcasters, it was called Anchor. And Spotify had bought Anchor. At that time, they hadn't merged the two companies together. And seeing all the ads for Anchor being like, you can start your podcast for free, do this for free, set your record and everything, all off your app from your phone. And I thought, all right, I'll give it a crack. And I remember doing like what we've all done previous, writing down different names for podcast names and when you're going to talk about it. And going to the podcast name generator. Like there was one point that I was like 70% set on the name that it was going to be like the Morgan Experience, something like that. I was like, that was what it was going to be called. So I was like, that kind of sets it up. But then I was like, it doesn't really explain what the podcast really is. And then what my group of friends, my really close-knit friends, what we used to do was, we don't do it so much now. We generally do voice memos now after the movie. But after the movie, we would stand outside the theater for about almost an hour or 2 hours. Just a debrief of breaking everything down, especially that peak Marvel aspect. I was like, what does that mean? What does that go to? I heard this, I heard that. and would be like ranting for like an hour, 2 hours. And I thought of that, and I was like trying to think of a name. It was like the ranting hour. It was ranting session. And then I thought I was like, oh, instead of lights, camera, rant, sorry, lights, camera, action, I was like lights, camera, rant. And if you go all the way back, which I'm actually, my voice is the intro and outro for the first like 8 episodes of the podcast. It's so cringeworthy. It's not even funny. And I thought, all right, look, I bought a notepad off Amazon. I bought my first mic off Amazon. It was only $50 or $60. I remember going to Fiverr to create my first logo and put it all together. I was so excited. I recorded like 4 episodes straight off the bat. Wrote everything out, put it together. It was so easy. Spotify Anchor was so easy to make a podcast back then.
Yep.
It's still easy now. It's Spotify podcasters, but Anchor was they made it so easy. And putting that all together the first time, Instagram, and I still got excited, but I put it all together, and I got to filter my love for movies to this day all through that. And it's something that I think we've all felt. We're like, oh, why didn't we do this earlier? And I remember telling my best friend at the time, I was like, oh, imagine what this could lead to. Imagine going to a premiere one day, going to see all that. And I really felt it last year I got to go to the Thunderbolts premiere, and I went to the Superman premiere here in Australia. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, shit. Kind of.
Is this real?
Yeah. The whole time pinching myself, thinking it's reached that type of level. And as we're talking right now, I've been very gracious to be able to be invited to go to the Spider-Man premiere. That's happening in a couple of weeks here. And I think what would really, probably would peak it all if I was able to go to Doomsday premiere. I think that would hit hard. That'd really hit hard home. Because, kind of like the Avengers have been such a big thing on my movie journey. Yeah. And I got to filter all my love for movies. And then at that time, got to meet so incredible people during this whole journey, like people like yourselves. Martin from the Film versus Film podcast, which I actually got to meet him in real life when I went to Europe last year. I was also meant to meet Andy from the Why So Serious podcast, but we couldn't get to line up. But he's been a great friend and mate during this journey, and I couldn't imagine what it all would lead to at this moment. And it's been fantastic. It's been a fantastic journey doing all this, but not only movies. Like I think 2 hours seeing that watch a movie just takes you somewhere else, takes you out of mind. No life worries or anything, and you just dive into a different world. Sometimes that world's really good, sometimes that world's really shit. But to this day, it doesn't matter how many times I've seen it, but horror films are one of the ones I still cringe and struggle with. Because the past week I saw the new Evil Dead Burns, and I pretty much watched it through my hands.
Can you turn it down? Like, if you get an invite to a premiere, do they kind of look down on you if you're like, I'm not an Evil Dead person, or even if like just maybe more politely of being like, hey, no thanks, I'm busy that night or whatever? Is that like allowed culturally, or like what does that look like?
You should try. Like, my understanding is that you should try as much as you can. If you can't, email them, because then your invite goes to somebody else.
Got it.
Yeah, but then again, you can like get slowly down the pecking order sometimes.
Yeah. So that's awesome, bro. Like, first off, just congrats on the success. Like, it's cool to see. It's cool to like witness. Like, oh, he saw freaking. I remember you saw one Mortal Kombat or something, and like too old for the rest of us. I'm like, oh, he's gonna know if it's good, but he won't be able to say anything else. They'll never invite him back or whatever. And
yeah,
I'm like just curious, like for you, like what did you do? You started out this podcast during the pandemic, and you have like these role models with Mr. Sunday Movies and Meso and Mr. Sunday, and these people that obviously they've been doing it for 10 years, and I imagine that's their full-time thing, that they're so successful with it. like what were the steps that you did to build up Lights Camera Rant, Mr. Rant, like that persona into a thing where you have almost 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, where you have all these invites to these premieres. Like for anyone listening to this, it's start like wanting to start a podcast or wanting to grow. Like what are the concrete steps that you did to grow your podcast?
I will find the whole Mr. Rant character kind of actually came a bit later. It came a bit later, probably after the I think the first I'd say probably the first 90 episodes. I had someone call me that actually. We're doing I can't remember what it was. It was we were doing this joint. I was podcast guest, and it was about four or five of us. And whoever the guy was at the time, I forgot, he was able to control everything and putting everybody's names. And he's like, "Oh, I just put you as Mr. Rand." And I was like, "That's actually not a bad idea."
You're like, "Oh, that's mine now. I'm taking
Oh,
that."
thank you.
That's cool.
And then, when I first made the first jumpers and everything, and I made Lights Camera Rant, and then from that's kind of where I thought I'd make the persona of Mr. Rant. Definitely, like, as I could recommend anyone do, is that do a deep dive on persona names, podcast names, in case someone had already taken your name. There actually was no other podcast called Lights Camera Rant except for one YouTube page that I could find. And I think it spelt it a little bit differently. The guy had like 4 videos that were about 15 to 20 years old. I was like, I don't think you're coming back to this, mate.
No.
I think, I think I can take this. And that's kind of where like my merch changed, podcast info, my first business card. That was really wild. My first business card, saying Mr. Rant on it, which if anyone's watching this, yeah,
Dude, that is cool. That is cool. That makes you legit.
yeah. Proud of that. And that's giving that out to people. And of course, like I think a big thing is that when you do start a podcast and you do have your mindset on what you want to do, what you want to make, it doesn't have to be a podcast, anything. And it's not saying you have to go on every platform, but I highly recommend the fact that you create all the profiles in case if you want to punch that ticket. So like from when I started Lights Camera Rant, I pretty much Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, everything I could get my hands on that. I made that name just in case, so no one else could take it. And it was actually also to go along that lines is that it was another podcast. It was I'm pretty sure I think they're still going today. They're an Aussie podcast. They're called Smoke and Mirrors. And I was chatting with that guy, and he used to get invited to premieres. And I was like, mate, how are you doing this? And he's like, oh, mate, go to these websites, go to these icons, go to these, set up your basically your resume, your media checklist, and go reach out to them and see what they're coming back with. And that's kind of where it's all grown from today. I have one lady, she's probably been one of my best contacts, and she's this lovely, she's been doing this for years, and she always sends me invites. She always like, hi Lee, how are you doing? How's everything? She's been lovely. Even sometimes there's been situations where she invite me and there's been, like, for example, it's like I've been overbooked and she's just called me. She's like, hi, I'm so sorry, Lee. I've sent you free tickets in the mail. My bad. Enjoy the movie when you have the chance. And then...
for a specific company?
Yes. It's a Studio Canal. Yeah. So, like movies like Obsession, like Clown in the Cornfields, Coyote versus Acme. So she's got about three or four underneath her banner that she works with. And she's absolutely lovely. But it's one thing is I'd recommend anybody that to make sure your passion always goes through it 110% of the time and never feels like a job. Next is make friends, make connections. You never know who you'll meet along this journey, and always be open to change or doing something a little bit different. And you never know, you really never know where it would lead to. Um, and YouTube's been fantastic. YouTube, we haven't missed a single week for 267 weeks in a row. We haven't missed a single week, and that was the kind of thing I started my. Thanks, man. And that's just kind of something because I was like, oh, I can do. It's funny. I look back on now. I thought to myself, I was like, oh, I could do an hour episode to come out every single week. I got time to do that. Still haven't stopped.
That's another question I have is you're married, right? You're
Yeah.
married and you podcast basically full time. You hop on collabs with me at least part time. I'm not the only one. I see you with other people too. And you go to movie premieres. How do you make like does your wife does she support your passion? Has it always been easy? Like what is kind of the balance of your podcasting life and your life?
Balance is terrible. Absolutely terrible. So it's not even like so for me. Like I'm a sales rep, so my hours technically are really not 9 to 5, so they can blur. And not only do I do the podcasting stuff, I also play competition tennis as well. I play that 2 nights a week.
Hey.
Um, so yeah, my week gets filled up pretty a lot. It's look, there's been some times where I've had to say no to premieres because there's family stuff going on, or I need to allocate more time to a certain area. But she supports it. She goes, "It's your passion. It's what you love to do." Um, she always just says to make sure make time for everything else and don't get burnt out. There was one week where it was three premieres in a row. I think tennis on Thursday, and I think we had a family event on Friday. And I remember coming Saturday going, "Oh my god, I don't want to look at my phone. I don't want to do anything." But it's still a passion for me. For 200 episodes, I still have fun doing this, and it's always funny and I always remember this is that I did one episode. This was a while ago now, and I remember thinking, I think I was just tired, and I was like, I really was in the mood to make the episode. But I thought, no, I'll still punch it out. No, I've done it. I can't miss a single week. And what I always find funny is that episode took off, and the numbers for that were really good. And I remember thinking, funny how that happens.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
one you think you're not going to push the button for is the one that takes off really well.
Huh. Dude, that's cool, man. Like I want to go back for something you said about Batman the animated series.
Mm.
Like with the new X-Men out, like X-Men 97, it got me thinking just how lucky we were, like kids. How old are you again?
33.
Okay, so we're millennials. You and I are almost the
Mm.
same age. I'm 35. Um, just how lucky we were, like growing up with like these animated shows, Batman, X-Men, and Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man, and X-Men being on Fox. Like those were three really good TV shows about superheroes and like very like mature for like the audience that was consuming them. Um, even like Batman was super dark. Like there's super dark just in general. X Men
Mm.
obviously being it touches on like what does it touch on and all these different things. And so you like for me like I know you as like the superhero guy. Like anytime I want to do episode on Daredevil or Brand New Day, planting that seed now. Like you're the guy that I text and I call. And I have two questions. Like one is I guess one question mainly. Like in cinema nowadays, like cinephiles and people that like superheroes, like Marvel tends to get shit on quite a bit
Mm.
currently. Like back in the day, like I remember you were talking the first time you saw the Avengers, we were like, oh my gosh, Captain America, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Thor, Iron
Oh my
Man.
god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Like, oh, okay, this is happening. And then obviously
Yeah.
it quadrupled whatever in Endgame.
Hmm.
But since then, like people have definitely like shit on Marvel. I think some people it's kind of like the cool thing to do. Some cinephiles can be really pretentious and can just be total
Yeah.
stuff. But I'm just curious, like you, like what do you think about that? People tend to do that with Marvel and superhero movies in general, and why have you kind of stuck with them even now? Like you just talked about how hyped you are for Doomsday. Like what is it about Marvel, the brand, superheroes that keeps you coming back despite other cinephiles maybe shitting on them?
Oh, look, there's a lot of different types of cinephiles. You can be a cinephile that where horror is your genre. You can be a cinephile where classic cinema is yours. Superhero yours, and it can, and arguably yes, superhero is my muse, and it can be very different. And look, I on the flip side, there's things where I've completely ripped them through. There's been remakes and sequels I've ripped through where other cinephiles have come to me and gone, oh, "What are you talking about? That was a great movie." I'm like, "We didn't watch the same thing, 110%." But I think with Marvel, what it is that it did dip. Like there's no arguing about that. They did dip in quality. I think the mission statement at the very start with whole Disney Plus and the TV shows was fantastic. After that, that's kind of where it dropped off. And what I will give them grace to the fact that they've started this really ambitious plan to be like, we're going to do these shows, we're going to do these movies on Disney Plus, and then COVID just kind of just shook that Marvel tree a lot harder than I think a lot of people take it for. And why I'm sticking with it is because, as you said, I'm still a deep fan. I'm still a big comic book nerd. I'm like I'm still gonna be right there cheering it on. Even if it's just not, which I know, which both know that we're gonna see people who are gonna be like, it's not as good as Infinity War. It's not as good as Endgame. This is
Little
really sub.
little fan service.
Yeah, it's so fan service. And there's gonna be some parts like that, and I still get excited. I have this debate with my best friends where he's so excited for Dune. He thinks it's going to be the better movie, and we constantly have these arguments. I'm like, no, mate, it's Doomsday. Doomsday is going to make more money, and he's like, aren't you sick of the superhero train? And I'm like, I'm really not. But I'm sick of the superhero train in the sense when we get a superhero movie where it does nothing new to add to the medium. And this is the thing with Marvel is that Marvel, I feel, always do something a little bit different in their superhero films. It doesn't feel the same way every time. Like let's look back at last year. Uh, Captain Captain America 4. Yeah, that didn't do too well. There was a lot that could have done differently, but how we got Harrison Ford and Red Hulk. Like, I think that part of the film was fantastic.
Sure.
Then we get Thunderbolts, which people were like, oh, this is their Suicide Squad team. Technically, yes. And then we get one of the darkest moments in MCU history with those people disappearing. And what's even darker is when you find out what the actual inspiration for that was, which, as the director said, they took inspiration for that when the Hiroshima bomb went off, and you could still see outlines and shadows of people. I'm like, that's terrifying. And then we get Fantastic Four, which is such a perfect 60s period piece, and we got Galactus in his full form. Unlike what we got with Fantastic Four 2, Rise of Silver Surfer, where he was just a cloud.
Yeah.
But then again, in a sense, we get the Flash, which was really bad, yet we got a great Supergirl from it.
Yeah.
To me, I'm happy to stay on that train with Marvel as long as they keep doing things differently. And again, on the flip side of the fence, I know people will be like, Dune is fantastic. Dune is so peak. I don't think Dune's that great. Especially the second one. The first hour, and I'll take this to my grave, is boring as batshit.
Dude, I had my co-host, his Sam. He'll listen to this and he'll be pissed off that I said this, but um, he compared Dune 2 to the Two Towers, and me and him like fought over it. Like I was like, dude, in no way on God's green earth is Dune 2. It's fine, but comparing it to the Two Towers, like I've only given maybe nine five-star reviews on Letterboxd in my whole life, and Lord of the Rings has three five-star reviews. Like
Hmm.
you cannot compare. You cannot compare. God bless a Dune
No,
fan, but like there's it's not this
no,
generation of Lord of the Rings.
you,
I
you
don't think.
can't. No, you can't. There's no way. It's not the same thing. It's not. I also feel that with Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, you really had the fandom momentum going into that film and going into the third one, where Dune 2 and Dune 3 doesn't really have that like same kind of like momentum. And look, there'll probably be a day where we go back and we review the three Dune movies and go, and I believe this. I believe it will be a nice tight trilogy. Like that will be
Great.
here's three films condensed, done, so well done. You do not need a fourth. I don't think they're going to make a
No,
fourth, but
this was the
I'm
end.
sure they're going to be punching off spin-offs any way they can. But no, I agree with you. You cannot compare the two. You can no.
You know what's funny too is like I mean this isn't funny, but just talking through this with you is like a Marvel, and I'm a Marvel fan too. I'm still on the train. I'll see most everything they put out. I didn't see Wonder Man. I didn't see Iron Iron Heart. Those are two I haven't seen. I probably won't see them just because I don't.
Um,
I saw the last episode of Iron Heart because it had Mephisto
good,
still in it. I was like, I wanted
good.
him as a villain, and I
Yeah.
thought he was good.
Wonder Man wasn't bad. Wonder Man was a good pocket story.
Okay,
Like
I'm
it's
gonna
not
go into it then,
if you literally have nothing to watch.
which I don't right now. And no, I'm in House of the Dragon right now. I do have something to watch.
Uh, if you have nothing to watch, it's put on. It's not something bad that Marvel's put out. Like it is good. And it's good the fact it's getting a season two.
You know, with Marvel too, like so I'm still on the train and I think like what Marvel pulls like is it perfect? No. Like there's been some
No.
stinkers. Like I think the thing that you mentioned about COVID I think is just such a brilliant take because with the Disney Plus, I really think that Marvel thought that they could just give us something every month and we would just eat up like dogs because Captain Marvel, which is an okay movie, grossed $1 billion grossed
Okay.
$1 billion. Captain Marvel grossed and like so
Hmm.
we just were eating it up at the time, but COVID it changed everything. It made things more expensive to where even like going to the theaters like it's a bigger chunk of change and wages haven't gone
Yeah,
up.
oh,
There's
it
like
is now.
yeah, like there's economics involved too of like why I wouldn't want to I like 5 years ago, 6 7 years ago, I could go see a Captain Marvel because I had spare change, but now like post COVID world, it's tough to do that, you know.
Mm.
And I think Marvel, like people shit on them all they want, and the cinephiles and stuff, but you have to give them their credit. Like for one, I think a lot of years Marvel keeps cinemas afloat, where they just like, how is it that a movie is good as The Bone Temple, number two, the 28 Days Later, The Bone Temple, doesn't even make half of its money back. That's a great movie, and
Mm.
like now, like Moana, which is I hear is a shit movie, is going to get $1 billion and kind of keep cinema alive like at least Marvel puts out some decent movies, unlike like
Mm.
the Moana. That's one point. Two, like the sustained success and keeping people interested over the span of almost 2 decades, I think cannot be discredited. Because
Oh
like,
no.
no, like Hunger Games now, like there's discussion of like is the Hunger Game franchise done? 5 movies in, 5 movies, people are all like, is this franchise still relevant or not? Marvel's what 50 movies in, and we're still talking of like, oh, it's still relevant. And
Mm.
my last point, and this kind of goes with like superhero movies in general, is James Gunn. God bless him. He's made some good movies, but he talked a lot of shit when he went to DC and he was like, "We're not going to be like those kids at Marvel. We're the cool kids over here. We won't even make something unless a script is done. We won't even look at it until the script is done." Supergirl comes out, and everyone's like, this feels like Iron Man 2. Like you tell us the script was done in advance and all these different things, and you talk so much shit, and you give us this to where even now there's discussions, which I think they're a little bit premature, but there's discussions on like, is James Gunn DCU dead? And I don't think it's
Yes.
true, but I think James Gunn learned a lesson there of like, oh, I talked a lot of shit, and this maintaining a collective universe and creating interesting stories time and time again, 3 to 4 times a year is actually really, really hard.
Oh, it is. And there's actually 2 points to what you just said that I would love to. One of those points, I think it'd be great if we dived into a whole other episode, which we really could, is the reflection of cinema post COVID on how the fact, as you said, how a movie like Bone Temple doesn't make the money yet. Moana 2 is going to make the money, yet and on top of that, you have Obsession, which is the fourth highest or fifth highest grossing movie of this year for a movie that was on a budget of I think 100K. If actually I don't even think that. I think it was like only like 50 or 60K. Like it didn't. It's just going crazy, and I think that's a really good topic for another day to dive into. Um, but yes, I have also seen the premature on James Gunn. Is James Gunn DCU dead in the water? And look, it's fun. It's not really funny, but as much as people shit on Marvel, as much as people complain about Kevin Feige, you, multiple generations up, what Marvel MCU has done in cinema will never be replicated ever again. That will never be done. To the smooth transition to every single movie, to how much money everyone's made. Even the duds still made a decent amount of money coming back in the theaters moving forward. So it's not truly a dud. Still made bank. I feel really bad for James Gunn in the sense that I fully understand what his mission was. He was wanting to doing. He wanted to be the savior of DCU. DC need a savior. And I think Superman was a great hit off. I think that was a great. Creature Commandos was good. I think that the hard part is that he's greenlighting these other movies that don't seem to really tie in all together for what he wants to do, or what the mission statement is. Because like, yes, we did get Supergirl. Went to the premiere for that. That was the film was good, not great. It was good, not great. And then we're getting a Clayface movie in October. Like, don't get me wrong, that looks good, but I'm like, cool. We got Clayface. We still don't have any Batman in this universe.
Yep.
And then now there's still very little to actually what the hell's going on with Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Yeah. And Batman 2, I know like when he kind of took over and he inherited the Batman franchise, like there was debates on like, do I keep this? Do I cut this? And I think people wanted it so bad. I mean, I do. I cannot wait for the Batman Part 2. I cannot wait.
Oh, no, neither can I.
No, you can't either. I know it's just like a
Yeah.
can't either. And like I wonder if that like affects him at all to be like, look, I'm creating my own universe, Supergirl, Creature Commando, Superman, Superman Man of Tomorrow, and all you DC fans, all you guys want is a project that I inherited, this The Batman Part 2. Like honestly, you give me a choice, like he's described a little bit like Batman Brave and the Bold, and I think it's a good idea, but I will take 10 times out of 10 the Batman franchise currently constructed over what James Gunn has described to me as far as Batman Brave and the Bold.
Ah, dude, 110%. And I think what a hard part is that it feels like we've been waiting for the Batman 2 forever. Like it feels like we've just been waiting for it for so long. And the wild thing is the fact we're getting into Batman 2 and Avengers Secret Wars in the same year.
Oh god. Oh yeah, we're eating so good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I hope there is, but I haven't really seen much of any talk of a part 3.
Yeah, I think there's got to be, man. I can't imagine like the thing that sucks about the Batman Part 2, the wait we've had to have, like the OG fans like us, like we've had to wait fucking what is it going to be 5 years by the end of this? But it's gained momentum, like the casting, bro. the casting of like Sebastian Stan is Harvey Dent.
Mm.
This mystery villain they cast, the guy from Game of Thrones, the
Mm.
guy, I
Mm.
don't remember his name, but like it's just carried momentum. Like that's gonna make so much money to where I don't think they cannot like make a part three. And I'm
No, and we got the Penguin. Penguin was great.
like there's yeah, and like even like the little taste of the other aspects of the universe we've got, like the Penguin. It was awesome, and the Penguin did such a
Mm.
good job of not humanizing the Penguin, which is such a interesting like flip on like a character where usually when you have like villain series, they kind of make you sympathize with a little bit. Maybe he's more of an
Mm.
anti-hero. Not this one. Like Penguin, freaking by the end of it, you're wanting to like boot up Arkham Asylum again on your Xbox 360 so you can beat the shit out of a Penguin again.
Yeah,
So
100%. But it
I
almost did, and that was the best thing. Is that was the best thing of that show? It almost did make you feel for him, and then nah.
nah. No, dude. So I just for James Gunn, like I think, like you mentioned, like you talked about, Marvel, what they're currently doing will never be replicated, and especially if they talk of like going forward with the X-Men. Like the X-Men have just gained popularity in the last 10 years, like which at the world's moving,
Oh,
at the world's going. Like when '97,
I
Deadpool.
I think I think 97's really boosted that, really boosted it to no end. And if they can make, um, obviously they can't because it's going to be the 90s, but if they can make an X Men movie in the vein of at 97, I think it'll make bank. It will
Oh
make so much money. My only two bits is um, that first X Men movie. I'm thinking that Wolverine is in it, but he's not a main character.
yeah, I think that's a thing they've done really well with. I love Wolverine. I love him to death. I'm actually getting a Wolverine tattoo on my back in a couple weeks. Um, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's cool. Fuck it, would be fucking awesome. But it's gonna be. I'll just tell you about it real quick. It's Wolverine's three claws, and it's X-23's two claws, and their hands are going like this together. And you got the two, and you got the three, and it's gonna hurt like a bitch with those like.
That's so cool. And yes, that is going to hurt like a bitch.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet, bro. But no, I think one of the good things that like X-Men '97 has done, they're brilliant, man. They really are. Like Wolverine has been such a fixture for the last 20 years, and for good reason. Like Hugh Jackman's amazing, he brings in so much money. But X-Men '97, they're like, well, let's just change the main character a bit. Like let's keep Wolverine in it, but let's not have his journey, Weapon X, the Adamantium be the main story. And like I would say Cyclops has like his popularity over the last 5 or 3 years or so since this has come out has skyrocketed. Like
Oh yeah, and the fact that we're going to be eating James Marston in that iconic suit.
yeah, yeah, dude, yes. Like one of the things X-Men '97. I know we're going on a little bit of a rant here, but you are Mr. Rant or whatever. Um, like X-Men '97, the episode one when the show came back and they go to fight the Sentinels, and Cyclops
Yes.
like to me, my X-Men, dude, it took everything I had to not rip off my shirt and charge my TV. Because I was like, when he said to me, my X-Men, I wanted to join him. I wanted to join him because he had like this presence and like
I
this
don't,
leadership and just
he better say that. He better say that because that's almost just as iconic as Avengers Assemble.
dude, I hope it
So
does,
if
man.
he says that in Doomsday, I will be right there. I'll be losing my mind.
Charge a
But
TV.
but the terrible thing is, we probably both know he'll say that, and then you're going to get mowed down very
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, Doom's gotta be killing off somebody in this universe. Assume that there's gonna be a lot of
Oh,
bodies by the end of it.
100%.
But it's interesting because I think like going back to our original point was like Marvel is as flawed as they are. They do have some flaws, obviously. So, we could go on like the Secret Wars. You could tell was
Mm.
made by AI or something like just a bunch of nothing. But they've done it consistently over 2 decades now. And I think James Gunn is learning the hard way that he's having to do this in a post-COVID world to where, yeah, pre-COVID, maybe you put out a Supergirl, it's an okay movie, and it still brings
Mm.
in $700,000. And people are like, oh yeah, we'll just take this in. But now, like people's movie having goats are just different. Like when I went to the Invite a couple days ago, just in Salt Lake City, that theater was packed. Opening night for a movie that's an
Mm,
independent film in Sundance, the movie theater was packed. Freaking 2 weeks before that, I went to um, something that was just I went to Supergirl, and there was nobody in it. And I think
mm,
people's habits are just a little bit different to where I don't think I think he's right for one aspect that superhero fatigue is not dead. They just want good movies. But I also think that he's learning. You talk a lot of shit, but this is actually a little bit harder than I assumed it was going to be. Because that's a lot of money that he's
yeah.
standing to lose based on
Oh,
Supergirl.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I think that the Wonder Woman was better than Supergirl.
Yeah,
Still to this day. Yeah. I still was it. And it's a hard thing is because you see, like for example, why studios are just trusting major IPs, but then you see like Obsession just blow out of the water for no apparent. Like it's a good. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie, but ideally on paper it should have not made that much money.
yeah, yeah. But like people's habits are different. Like that's what's so weird is
Hmm.
I didn't see Obsession because like I'm not a big horror guy. But my horror friends, they were saying that they would go like 3 weeks after it came out, and the theater is still packed.
Hmm.
Like, how do you explain that, bro? I don't know.
Hmm. And I don't know either. I've actually gonna watch Obsession today. And I'm not a big horror guy, but the reason I am is they're like, I want to know, okay, I want to know why all the reviews for this have been fantastic and why it's made so much money. So I'm very curious.
On
But
streaming, you gonna watch it, or are you gonna go to the theater?
no, I got a special invite to watch it at home.
Dude, that's cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But dude, I want to talk about Batman. What is it about Batman that you love so much? Like, we talked about all these superheroes and all these different things, and got into your story and how you went from like this guy in the pandemic that wanted to do a podcast, and now you're going to premieres and stuff. I want to go back to the tattoo you have of Batman. Why Batman? Why is it about Batman that it's like I just like that's my guy.
I think for me, why Batman? Because a dark, moody. He's cool. He's got the car. He's got the gadgets, and I think it's also one of the reasons why I like Captain America as well. Is that he's human. It's all just him. He's disciplining his mind, and that's in a world full of gods and monsters. Um, he's just human that he can achieve it. Yes, by the way, he's a billionaire, and if I had that much money, I could make a sweet cave and have all the time in the world to learn every single martial arts on the planet and all that fun stuff. But and you had the cool villains. You had the Joker. You had Scarecrow. Um, you have Penguin, and you got the more creepier. You get the more creepier ones like Killer Croc or Clayface. So his rogue gallery was cool, but it was just the fact that it's that first superhero that you look at and go, nah, I want to be Batman. I don't want to be Superman. I don't want to be the good Boy Scout. I want to be Batman. And it's funny because one of the arguments I always love is that you idolize Batman, but the Punisher makes more sense.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's two very similar characters too. Just
Yeah,
with one big caveat.
yeah,
And Batman is so much more attainable too. Like it's like Superman's great, but it's hard to, as a young kid, like aspire to Superman because he's fucking invincible. Like he's a god. Versus like Batman, you're like, okay, I just saw him get his ass kicked by Bane, who is maybe slightly stronger than your average man. Um, and
and
it
gets
just,
back up.
yeah, he just seems more attainable, man. But if you had to choose someone to play the Batman and James Gunn universe, who would you want to have play that role? Do you have someone in mind, or you just
I'm still growing on the idea. I forget his name, but I don't think it will work because of his age. But I think just because like how tall he is and his build is the Reacher guy.
yeah, Alan Richmond?
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
God, he'd be a fucking massive Batman.
that's right. But I mean, just his height and everything. Um, that, because generally Batman is taller than everyone. He's taller than Commissioner Gordon. He's taller than few people around him. But I think you get a Batman that size, especially you look at it's not Ultimate Batman, Savage Batman. That's just an absolute beast.
Yeah. There's no give
Um,
away like his secret identity a little bit though. If like there's two massive human beings in Gotham,
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
like Bruce being like, you have a
Huh.
very similar build to Batman. Like there's
Yeah.
nobody as wide as you except for one other
Yeah.
person.
A while ago. Huh. I never see him in the same place. Funny about that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, again, that's obviously why the Dark Knight worked perfectly
Yeah.
because Christian Bale isn't the tallest guy in the room.
Yeah, he's just a normal. he- yeah, he's a guy that knows his ninja skills. But
Yeah,
who's your favorite live action Batman?
I've got two. My five all-time favorite live-action Batman is Christian Bale as my favorite, but
Yeah.
Michael Keaton because he's the OG Batman. That's the one I grew up on. That's the one that he fought the Joker. Fought the Penguin. Again, when you go back and watch, especially the Batman Forever, or how dark this is. But yeah, Michael Keaton. So I obviously, that's one aspect of the Flash that I did like, seeing him back,
Yeah. Yeah,
hearing that iconic theme again.
I guess he was supposed to come back as in Batgirl too, but I think Warner Brothers just trashed that. That's just somewhere in
Yeah.
a trash file somewhere on Warner
Yep.
Brothers desktop.
Yep, with such a good cast too. Like Brendan Fraser was playing the bad guy, and J. Jonah Jameson was back as Commissioner Gordon.
Too bad, man. But back to DC a little bit. I do feel like James Gunn is kind of falling into a similar trap to the old DC, where it's like the old DC. It was like, well, we've got Superman, Wonder Woman, Superman again, Justice League, Birds of Prey, Black Adam, then Wonder Woman 2, like a bunch of random stuff. Suicide Squad 1, but a different Suicide Squad. It was just a bunch of random stuff, and it was kind of hard
Yeah.
to keep up with. And I just heard that, and this could be fake news or whatever, but I saw that based on the letdown that Supergirl was, that they're fast tracking a Deathstroke versus Bane movie, which sounds great, but it's also like, okay, we've got Creature Commandos, Superman, Superman 2, Supergirl, and then Peacemaker, and then a Deathstroke and Clayface, and then a Deathstroke versus Bane movie. It's almost like, well, let's just feed him chum and see what bites, which I think is a trap.
And Green Lanterns.
Oh yeah, it's
Yes.
coming out. I hope that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know. I really don't know how that's going to go. I really don't. But I agree with you. And there's meant to be on top of that. There's meant to be a Robin movie coming out as well. I can't Dynamic Duo, and that's meant to be a Robin movie. I think it's meant to be animated. That's also on the cards as well. But my thing is, like, don't get me wrong, you can have a really good villain movie, but the reason why these characters are so interesting is because the fact they go up against Batman. You have Bane, who's so much more powerful and menacing than Batman, and we know the fact that he's one of the very few people, black and white on paper, has beaten him toe to toe, straight force, which is iconic. Also, there's actually an anime movie coming out, I think next month, called Batman Nightfall, which is going to be three parts, which is going to be on that. And then you have Deathstroke, who 100% can go toe to toe with Batman in hand-to-hand combat, and is also a tactician and malicious, and is one of the things I really do wish that we did get from the Snyderverse. Was I really wish we did get the Ben Affleck's Batman with Deathstroke. I think would have been such a cool and different film. But what's the point of having these cool characters when there's no Batman? Like, why would we give a shit?
Well, you wouldn't. That's why I think people care about the Penguin, is because we saw him in the Batman. Like,
Yeah, exactly right. And the thing is, we knew what his phase into what he was going to be. Like, from the Batman being basically just an enforcer to what we know he's going to have the criminal empire and become the Penguin.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
And his story came after Batman. Like we saw him, and then we were
Exactly.
like, "Oh, this guy's he's caused some problems for Batman, but who is he?" And then HBO, like it's still like Batman is still present in that HBO show, right? Like he's still
Mm.
there, it's not there, but you feel his presence still.
Mm.
And I think that like it makes it interesting to where
It
okay, this
does.
guy obviously can't go toe to toe with Batman physically. He can't. But he's a conniving little douchebag who works his way up the criminal underworld so that he can get up here to compete with Batman
Mm.
as far as resources and manpower. Like with Clayface, like I predict, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think Clayface will make hardly any money. I don't know who's going to go see that.
I think it's just going to make horror movie money.
You think?
I think it will make. I think it'll make some decent film. Sorry, decent money. But
Hmm.
I think it's going to make decent money from horror fans, not from superhero fans.
Okay, well then that actually has hope then, because horror, if there's one genre over the last 3 years that's been breaking it in, it's horror fans. Like people go and see those
Yes.
movies in
Yeah.
droves.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you show Clayface the trailer to an average people, no one's going to know that that's Batman. No one's going to know, and the trailer doesn't do anything to indicate to you that this is a superhero film.
No, and no kids are going either, because you watch it and you're like, oh, this looks fucked up. Like I'm not bringing
Yeah.
my kids to this movie.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. 110%.
Which I think, I think there's benefits to that of like making like a more mature superhero movie, like the Joker, for example. Joker, I thought was well, now like as time goes on, like I like Joker less and less. Logan, like my favorite movie. Logan is a great example to where you're introduced to Logan on some maybe lesser mediums, I mean more PG mediums, and then at some point in the journey you throw in an R-rated movie for the grown up kids or the adult,
Mm.
and tell his story like a more intimate way. Like with Clayface, it just feels like old DC where it's like let's throw this random thing out. James Gunn says there's
Oh,
a script done, but it's like
yeah. 100%.
doesn't mean shit to me anymore because you fucking said there's a script on Superwoman or Supergirl, and it was just okay. And you promised us, James Gunn, that we wouldn't have just okay movies in your DC universe. You promised us.
Like one of my gripes was for Supergirl was like, who gave a shit about the villain? Who is the villain? Like no one is going to remember at all.
Dude, that frustrated me so bad to that movie. I liked like I don't think the hate on it was justified. I think a lot of it was a little bit exaggerated. But one thing I was pissed off, like as someone who works, like my full-time job is like anti-human trafficking. That was an anti-human trafficking film where like it should have been like hit you harder or more emotional or some kind of personal tie, or like you really just like hate the villain because you're so disgusting that they would do this to young girls. And I was just like, he's just there. I can't remember his name. I think his name was like Grease or something. Like,
Yeah. You could have put random villain 2 or random villain 3, and it would have been the same outcome.
and like Lobo, like I think Lobo was fun. Lobo was fun, but like for me, it felt like the movie was done, almost done, and he was like, "Oh no, I've got Lobo. Let's throw him in some places to kind of build up his story." But like you could have told that whole story without Lobo, and it's almost the exact same story, almost.
Yeah. Yep.
Like he was fun. He was fun. He was great,
Yeah.
but like he promised us. Like he promised us that
Yeah.
it
He
wasn't
did.
gonna
He
be like
did. And technically, The Man of Tomorrow is going to be a Justice League film because it's got Supergirl in it, it's got the Green Lantern in it, it's got Hawkgirl in it, it's got the other Green Lantern in it, it's got Superman. Like, it's pretty much 3/4 of a Justice League film.
which is another thing that DC they made a mistake last time is they tried to fast track their Justice League to catch up with Marvel versus Marvel. Like Marvel took their time. It wasn't fast. It took 5 or 6 years. We got a an amazing Iron Man movie, an okay Iron Man movie, an okay Hulk movie, a good Captain America movie, a good Thor movie. Bam, the Avengers. But like they took their time with it versus Justice League like the same mistake that the Snyderverse made was movie three. We're in Justice League, and it's like we're not ready for this yet. Like we're not
Mm.
there with these characters. Like if you kill Superman after a second movie, like yeah, it's sad, but I just don't care because
No.
it's just two movies in. I don't care enough about
Yeah.
him.
It should have been Man of Steel 1, 2, and 3. It should have been Batman 1 at least.
Yep.
And Wonder Woman 2, but Wonder Woman 2 was shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Yo,
awful.
awful. That was terrible. They wasted a good Pedro Pascal. Those sons of bitches.
Yeah,
Like
so wasted.
it should have been, yeah, like you said, Man of Steel 2, a Batman film, Batman v Deathstroke or something,
Mm.
Aquaman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, maybe a second of those. Boom,
Yeah.
just take your time
Yeah.
with
Well,
it.
hell, at first Aquaman made $1 billion at the box office.
That's true. That's true. Like the world, like super, it's like pre-COVID. Maybe it was pre. I don't know if you want to call it if it's pre-COVID or pre-Endgame. They're kind of like very close, to where
Oh, yeah,
they.
at the same time, because Endgame was 2019.
Yeah, it's just different, man. It's just.
Yeah, and 2019 was Endgame. 2020 was when COVID began.
Hmm. Deal. But I had a few more Batman questions to ask you. I wanted to know who was your favorite Batman villain.
Favorite Batman, like the obvious answer is the Joker, as like um, everybody, but probably my second one is that's a hard one. It would be either no, it's not Hesh.
Hush.
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 Hush would be my second villain because I think that's such a unique storyline between him and his family, and obviously taking his identity. I think that's really cool. Um, and probably him. I think the Court of Owls is also fantastic. That being a new villain, I really do hope that we see that in future films. But if it's probably the other one would be Bane. Bane would probably be my other one because I just think it's again such a unique dynamic what happens to the Batman between these characters.
Who do you hope is the villain for the Batman Part Two?
Well, that's the thing is that there's a whole rumor going around that it could be Court of Owls, it could be Hesh,
Two.
it could be it could be, or I know there's a whole rumor Two-Face is going to be in it. And I think, there's a whole, I don't think they're going to, but I think Mr. Freeze is also certainly on the table. There's no full confirmation on who it's going to be. My only thing is that I do hope it's a villain that we have not seen on screen before or has had very limited to no screen time.
Who do you want to be a villain in James Gunn's Batman Brave and the Bold?
Again, I want a Deathstroke. I want somebody we haven't seen on the big screen before.
Deathstroke too. I thought they really missed. This is just a little rant, but you're Mr. Rant, so whatever. But like they missed because the thing that I think makes Deathstroke interesting too is, especially with like an older Batman, is an older Batman based on his training continues to be dangerous despite being old. Same with Deathstroke, and so the old DC universe, the Snyderverse, you had an old Batman and old Deathstroke, like a real chance for like two old
Hmm.
OGs to show how dangerous they still are. I really would have liked that. I would have liked that.
Hmm.
I'm with you. I hope the court. I hope it's not a villain that we've seen before. I know that Two Face is. I mean, Harvey Dent at least. I think it's gonna be interesting to see. I think it's a great casting. I can't wait to see what Sebastian Stan does with Two Face. I know it's gonna be
Hmm.
great. But honestly, bro, like I like to see. I want to see a little bit of weird too. Like I want to see like the freaking Mad Hatter. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, just like there's two villains that I think in put specifically in the Batman universe would be just so like the one is the Mad Hatter. I think he would be so unpleasant for people.
Hmm.
And then Man
Just a
Bat.
little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Man Bat. See, Man Bat would be
So like I don't know. You have to have the
so
right.
good. I I don't know how that would work in the medium, but I think Man Bat would be would be great. Even the story about his character, I still see people who get the jump scares from Batman Arkham Knight when you
Oh
first
yeah.
enter it. And I was one of those people. I still remember the first time I was like, shit. You interact with Man Bat for the first time.
Yeah, dude, that was scary. Like, I don't know if I want to see like we saw the Scarecrow. Like, I love all these villains. I really do. I love Scarecrow. I love Mr. Freeze.
Mm,
I just want, I don't, personally, I'd like to just see someone that we've never gotten before. Hush, I
that's
think
what I mean.
Hush would be great. Um,
Yeah, I think that he'd be a great dynamic.
did you ever watch the TV show Gotham?
It's funny. I'm a Batman fan. I just did not like that show.
I
I
didn't,
watched the first. I watched the first two seasons and I dropped off.
dude. They really freaking the what they did to Bane. They should be arrested. Like the way they portrayed Bane.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It was very much a TV. Like it was just all TV skins of characters. Like it wasn't that great.
yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that one either. But I just was thinking about it because they did the Mad Hatter. I thought they did good the Mad Hatter, but Bane, I thought it was awful. I thought it was awful. In that.
Yeah,
What is your
and we
favorite?
did get Hugo. We
Oh,
did get Hugo Strange from that too.
I love a good Hugo Strange, man.
Mm.
They tricked me once before AI, but when I was just a little kid, they put like this fake trailer online of that they had it all edited all nice to where it was going to be Bane and it was going to be Robin Williams playing Hugo Strange, and I was totally
Yes.
tricked. I was totally tricked, and it wasn't real, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see a good Hugo Strange, man.
100%.
What's your favorite Batman movie, man? What is your favorite all time?
Ooh. Yeah. Top answer is The Dark Knight. Um, I'd say animated would be Batman Under the Red Hood. I think that's a great. That's such a good animated film for the Batman story and such a unique one. Actually, Red Hood. Red Hood would be another one that'd be fantastic. But
Yeah, he would be.
obviously, Red Hood doesn't really work until he's more later on in his career as Batman. So that doesn't. I wish it could work with Brave and the Bold. Um, Probably I'd say my second film would be again animated, Mask and the Phantasm.
I've heard rumors that that's going to be the villain too. That Scarlett Johansson is going to be playing the Phantasm.
I forgot her name, but it would be if she plays that character, that would be such a good dynamic, such a good different character, um, and yeah,
Dude, this movie has. I'm so excited for the Batman Part Two because everyone that has read the script is like, this script is the most
it's
amazing
gold.
script. Yeah,
It's gold.
everybody says it. Like Andy Serkis, who was in Lord of the Rings, freaking the Penguin, the Colin Farrell, he read it and he's like, "This is the most amazing script I've ever read." Rob Pattinson's like, "I couldn't believe what I was reading." The only
Mm.
one that said anything that's not just like peak is James Gunn, where he was like, "Yeah, it's a good script." He's the only one that has said that it's not like the most amazing they ever read. So
Mm.
we're in for some really good stuff. I'm really excited what they have.
Oh yeah, we are.
Store.
We're eating good. We're eating good.
Finally, too. Finally, dude.
Finally, finally.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Um, dude, man, Batman. So your favorite Batman's Christian Bale. Your favorite
Mm.
villain is. Did you tell me your favorite villain?
Yeah, I said the Joker.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. And then Bane. You said Bane is a backup. But did you
Yeah,
play the Arkham video games?
loved him.
Okay, my
Loved
last
him.
question, bro. My last question. I had to make sure you play the video games. Which of the Arkham games was your favorite?
I had to say Arkham Knight. Probably in order: Arkham
Really?
Knight, Arkham City, in the first game.
That's controversial. A lot of people put that like on their lowest one. I think Arkham Knight.
I just the world, the car. Like I know people did. It's funny because people dissed about the car. I'm like, I had no problem. I just think the world and what you got to be, was a fully fledged Batman game. You weren't stuck in just an island or a section of the city. You had the whole city. The story, the whole story where he's true identity got exposed. Um, the whole dynamic, the fact that the Joker is the voice in his head. Like I think it's just such a good story. And again, that game is nearly, I think, 15 no, about actually 12 or 13 years old, and still looks just crisp as anything if it dropped tomorrow. But of course, Arkham City, again, that was a great story. You got to expand. It's just a good trilogy. And I did hear a rumor, I did see a rumor, sorry, that they might be going back and doing Arkham Beyond and doing a Batman Beyond Arkham game after the dismal, absolute dismal and car crash of a game that was Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I heard that was bad.
That was terrible, absolutely terrible. I do hope we get a new Arkham game. That's well overdue. But then again, it's the same thing with like, how long have we been preaching for a new Bioshock game?
Too long, bro. Too long.
Too long.
Dude.
Yeah.
Freaking.
Yeah. But I got a question for you, and I should have asked it before too. How do you feel the fact that, not to go off topic a little bit, how do you feel that you've reached 50 episodes?
Dude, I feel good, man. I feel very blessed. I'm able to meet people like you. Shout out to your podcast, Movies with Peter, Renee Reviews, D Riptide, all these amazing people that have hop on and will talk about this nerdy shit with us. And just really lucky, man. Like honestly, I've been able to interview some, obviously you and the peeps that we've been able to talk with have been awesome. But through the podcast, there's no reason in hell that I should have interviewed one of the kids that played one of the mutants in Logan. Logan is my favorite movie of all time. I watch it every year, and I got to interview one of the actors that fucking acted next to Hugh Jackman and asked him questions about it. That was awesome. Or the guy that was one of my most recent episodes, I got to interview one of the producers of The Punisher: One Last Kill. We talked about this on our podcast, that Daredevil and Punisher: One Last Kill, and he taught he walked me through the story. He walked me through John Barenthal's his method acting, what he had to do to get John ready for the role, and he gave me a little preview of Brand New Day, where he was I think people are gonna get a preview of the next chapter of the Punisher in Brand New Day. He's John's role is not small. It's a role. It's not a cameo where he shows up for one fight scene. That's it. John is a big part of the movie. And so I was well, tell me more. He's look, One Last Kill. We had to put this story to bed. The One Last Kill, it didn't mean, I thought when I was getting ready to watch it, that One Last Kill meant that, he was going to go out like Logan. That he was going to go out.
Yeah, so did I. I think that's a little bit.
Chapter, we're moving on from the Punisher. Not that way. Because, Disney recognized people want more Punisher. One Last Kill meant he had to kill one more person that was involved in his family's murder, and now you can close the chapter on that, and now he can don the skull, and he can in the end, the Nazi guy that killed the dog, that guy he didn't kill Frank's family, he just was an asshole, and Frank killed him. So now Frank is now the Punisher. He's the Punisher, skull, crossbones, everything. He's in it to just hunt down the criminals. And I got to talk to the guy that helped produce that special. And it was awesome, I get to prick his brain and shit and ask him questions about Brand New Day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It was awesome for him, man. So it's been fun. It's given me an opportunity to meet people across the world and talk about shit that I love. There's episodes, I've talked on my podcast. I think we have 5 episodes on The Last of Us. So I've talked about The Last of Us for 10 hours. It's been recorded. That's a fucking dream come true for me, man. Fucking dream come true.
See?
Yeah, so I'm glad, man. I'm glad that I could do it. I'm thankful that you helped me do it, and I'm just glad that for the 50th episode we could honor some of the people that helped get us to this point, and the people that collaborate with us, like yourself. So frick, man, the victory, it belongs to us, but it also belongs to you. So thanks for.
It's more to you, man. It's more to you. You started this journey. I'm just along for the ride and happy to be here. And it's it's exciting. The feeling feels different when you hit 3 digits.
Yeah, that's our next step. Probably is the 3 digits. But it's cool, man. Like you said, it's a grind sometimes, and there's some days you don't really feel up to doing it, or you question like, is this thing even worth it? Like, does anybody give a shit or whatever? And
Exactly.
but it's like in the end, it's just a lot of fun, man. Like you get to talk about stuff that you like and that interest you, and I mean, happiness is so rare in this life that when you find something that makes you happy, you just gotta cling on to it as tight as you can. And movies, TV, community, podcasting, that does it for me.
I couldn't agree more. And actually, I'm just going to check for myself, just as my memory. What did I do for my 50th episode?
Yeah, dude, tell me, what did you do?
Uh, I feel like how far I have to scroll back. 50th episode, 50th episode. Uh, 50th, my 50th episode. Wow. Okay, here we go. Actually, you know what? Me and you, we have something very special in common with our 50th episode.
Well, no shit. What is it?
So my 50th episode was my very first episode with film for me videoing. It was my first video podcast episode.
No shit. So it was just
Yep.
audio until that point?
Yeah, it was. Yep, it was just audio until the 50th episode. And that was me reviewing Doctor Strange and Moon Knight. Doctor Strange 2.
Dude.
Yeah.
What was your review? What did you think of Doctor Strange 2 and what did you think of Moon Knight?
I think I love Moon Knight and Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange, and that was exciting to see what was going to come next from that. And technically, we're still waiting.
Yeah, I think they fooled us a little bit with that one. I think they called it multiverse of madness. I don't know if it was quite multiverse of madness. It was multiverse, but the madness I don't think quite hit.
No, and to also my 50th episode came out on the 10th of May 2022.
Dude, that's cool, man. That's cool, dude. You're freaking an OG, man. You've been doing this so long, and I hope you just keep on doing it. And does YouTube pay you yet? Have you got enough subscribers to where they're giving you
Nah,
more?
I haven't got that yet. That's all right.
Still,
I
no.
still,
I
I
thought
still
you
do it for the love.
I thought you would have hit the criteria of like they're putting
I
out
hit
videos.
I hit the criteria on the subscribers and the whole watch hours, but the watch hours is also what creates the money. So if I don't have enough watch hours, it won't give me enough ad revenue.
Got it.
Yeah. So, but that's all right. Still do it for the love. Still happy that I've got 8K on YouTube.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
but no, man. I think you've got a great show. What you've done is fantastic, and to keep going on because you've already passed the point of the statistics for how long podcasts actually last for. So they remember that because usually podcasts only last about. I think the statistics about 10 to 15 episodes.
Dude. Huh.
And just always remember the fact that there is more dead podcasts out there than there are live ones.
Dude, that's sad, man. Some of my I have like, I'm sure you do too, like on your Spotify and your Apple podcasts, like a list of podcasts that you used to listen to that just aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
And it makes me so sad, like to see it. I'm like, I wonder, like, I think about it every once in a while. Like, oh, what is this podcast up to? Click on it. It's like hasn't renewed since 2023. I'm just like, it's just so sad. Like,
I'm right there with you, man. There's a lot of podcasters that when I started, we were all releasing new episodes. We were all doing it, and some of them stopped for different reasons. Obviously, different reasons, and I respect that. Either co-host to go does something else, or passion changes, or the passion dies and doesn't want to keep going. But there's a couple that are still going now from when I started, and I'm really glad they're still going. But it takes time, and it's sometimes it can get hard, and that's understandable. But yeah. Because there's some guests I've had on my podcast, which they don't make any more episodes anymore.
dude, that's sad, man. Like, and it really makes you appreciate, like someone like James and Mazo from Mr. Sunday, where, I mean, I listened to one of their podcasts a while back, them talking about like how they started, and it was fucking. It was what was that movie? We just talked about it. Freaking Man of Steel 2. What was it called? Batman v Superman. Like that movie was so bad for them that they had to start a podcast and
Yeah,
they talked about it. They fucking talked about how bad they hated Batman v Superman and
yeah.
freaking I think that's how they started, something like that. But around then they like came out with like this like a Star Wars episode that was hilarious. And like I followed them for a while too. Probably for at least 7 or 8 years now. And like their longevity, like as because there's two of them, and there's all these different things. Like the longevity of their podcast, you usually have to applaud it because because it just doesn't happen that often where two people that start a podcast like that, it can go on for as long as it has.
And still do it. And still do it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, every week, man.
Yeah.
And every week.
And um, yeah.
Dude, I love it, man. I appreciate the kind words, man. I appreciate the kind words for the pod and for always joining me. And yeah, man, I'm just honored to be your friend and to watch you, man. Just to watch you fucking. I can't wait to see you at the Spider-Man premiere, like doing your picks and having like having just like the anger inside of me a little bit that you know what happens before I do, and that you know who.
I'll tell you all about it.
God, like freaking who Sadie Sink is playing. Is it Jean Grey? Or are we all totally off base?
I know.
I like
I
it.
know.
Or to see, like, I have the producer of The Punisher on my show, and he won't fucking tell me. Like, I'm like, well, tell me what Punisher does in Brandon. And he's like, I can't do it. I signed an NDA. And I'm like, God damn you. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me off screen. I won't tell anybody. But
Just wink twice when I say someone's name. Don't have to say anything. Just wink twice.
like, does Frank kill the Scorpion?
Yeah.
One wink, no. Two winks.
Yeah. Exactly. It's all you gotta do.
I actually think
So
that Spider-Man may kill the Scorpion.
it would be an interesting dynamic if we see him kill in this movie
But
and
he's,
have to deal with that.
but something's going on with him. It's either symbiote or man spider or
Yeah.
something's going on.
Man Spider.
God,
Yeah.
I want that storyline.
I know. I know. Actually, and the thing is, just to go back to just about podcasting is that it's good because my wife always reminds me of the fact that with podcasting and with doing this is that when I have kids, they'll be able to listen to it and listen to it all the way. I don't think I'll listen to it all the way through, but my thoughts, at the time, and God forbid if I disappear off the planet tomorrow, I have this entire archive of all my thoughts and something that people could still listen to.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think about that a lot too. Like I wish my dad's still around, but like my grandpa or my grandma, I wish they would have I wish that I could, if I could go back in time, like have an episode like this with them, where like you get, I don't know, like freaking 2 hours of their story, just to just to have and to put out there. And so if people want to get to know grandma or grandpa at some point, like yeah, they could read the journals, but wouldn't it be so much better to like listen to their voice, see their face?
Yeah, huge difference.
Dude, you guys plan on having kids anytime soon or nah?
That's the plan. Gotta make some little rants.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Well, you gotta have some theater buddies, man. Like
Exactly, theater buddies.
Theater
That's what I make.
like you
I
might
gotta,
more like Moana and Minions and shit, but I mean,
yeah, I gotta take someone when we go watch Avengers, X-Men.
dude, yeah. Dude, one of my favorite theater experiences I've ever had is this is my last thing I say and I'll let you go because I know we've been going for an hour and a half, but
That's all right.
freaking I went to the Captain America Civil War in 2016 with my cousin. It was a full theater, and Spider-Man was mainly kept out of the marketing. And so we were there with it was me, him, and his like 5-year-old son. His 5-year-old son was a big Spider-Man fan because he watched Spider-Man on Disney, whatever, like one of the new little kid Spider-Mans. But like a lot of these characters, he has no idea who Winter Soldier is. He has no idea who Iron Man is.
But every kid knows who Spider-Man is.
Yes, he does. So when Spider-Man and like when the Peter Parker scene showed up, like he's 5, so he's not really paying close attention of like Peter Parker, and the dialogue is kind of escaping him. But the scene where like Spider-Man takes Captain America's shield, flips and like holds it, Like he was sitting back like this, and the theater's dead quiet, and he goes like this, leans forward in his seat, and he points at the theater, and he's like, "Dad, it's Spider Man! Dad!" He starts having like a freak out in the theater because
Mm.
he's so excited. The whole rest of the movie, he's watching like this. He
It's
didn't
like this, yeah.
understand, the dynamics of like Iron Man and Captain America and stuff, but Spider Man's on the screen, and now he had to freaking pay attention, and I was
Mm.
like, that was cool.
100%. I'm pretty sure. I think Spider-Man's the third recognized superhero of all time after Batman and Superman.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He's just he's. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait for I'm a big fan of all the Tom Holland Spider Mans, even like the one with Mysterio. I really liked. Like, yeah, it was outside of New York, and it's not my favorite, but I still would give it like an 8 out of 10 if I had to rate it today. Loved
Mm.
Coming, loved
No Way Home.
fucking No Way Home, man. No Way Home was like, God, it was like nostalgia done right. You had two Spider Man in it, but like there's so many scenes in that, that, oh God, like Peter's inherent goodness, the Goblin being the main villain, but I know you remember this scene too, but like when Andrew Garfield saves Mary Jane, like I almost started crying in that moment. I was like, oh, because you remember in
I know.
2012 when he saved Gwen and her head smacked against the concrete. We were all there and we
Yeah.
were like, oh no,
Yeah.
she's dead. Like you ain't
Yeah.
surviving that. And so to see that same situation happen again, he actually saved her and see his reaction, like I'm like, that's nostalgia done right. Where like, yeah, you're fan baiting a little bit, but it adds to the story. Peter needed those Spider-Men to like get past his next step. And the sacrifice that he makes, honestly, is really sad at the end because he loses his girlfriend, his best bud, Hobgoblin. That'd be a sweet villain if his
Yeah. Hobgoblin.
Goblin. But I loved it, man. So I have no reason to believe that Brand New Day is not going to just be really good.
Here's hoping, man. Here's hoping in 2 weeks.
Dude, God, jealous, man, jealous. Are you gonna go, do you have premiere seats to the Odyssey or not?
No, unfortunately, I lucked out. So I can't always win them. That's fine. But me and my mates are going next weekend to go watch it.
Cool. I can't wait for
Yeah.
that, man. One more thing I'll
Yeah.
say, like now that I've got you, is like we talked about you being like a Marvel fan, and like some people hating on Marvel. I think the internet has kind of like fucked us up a little bit to where it's like now cool to like hate on shit just to hate on shit.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
it drives me nuts. Like first,
Mm.
like I know that's what the algorithm pushes is like the more you bitch and the more you get comments of people bitching, like the more reach you get. But I think it's also like ruined us as a society where like people get mad over the dumbest things. People want to be serial
Mm.
outraged. And like talking about the Odyssey, like I have some people in my inner circle that are not going to go see it because one of the actresses is black and Ellen Page or
I know. I've seen that too,
I'm
and
like
I'm just like,
y'all, you really can't be like upset about this. Like the Odyssey, from what has been talked about in the early reviews that come out, like we are in for a generational film experience, and for you to rob that because one of the actresses is black is racist and stupid. Like, get
it's
over it.
yeah.
It's not real. It's based on a poem. Like, who gives a fuck what color they are? Who gives a fuck like what language they're speaking? Like, we are in for a generational film, from what I've
I,
hoped, from what I've read, and like, I just don't get the people wanting to be serially pissed off over the dumbest things.
I don't get it either, and not to mention like it's it's a film, it's an interpretation. This isn't something you're gonna see on the History Channel. Like, yeah, if you saw this on the History Channel, yes, you could be upset and you'd be like, this isn't depicted correctly. But this is a major blockbuster film. Like, it's not. It's Christopher Nolan's interpretation of the story. Like, you have seen people complaining about the armor of what some of the Romans are wearing in the film. I'm like, yep, I would. I'd make it cool as shit if I wanted to. I'd make it do a little bit of a twist. That's. And if someone goes, oh, that's not how it's depicted. All right, well, look, there's a History Channel. There's ChatGPT. There's Wikipedia that shows you exactly what they look like.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I forget, he's got a rapper. I forgot who the rapper is. He's in the movie, and people asked him, why is he in the movie? Is it because technically rapping is a descendant from poetry? So he's like, my thought is the fact that it makes sense if he was in the movie because technically in that period of time, that's what he would have been.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. But you're right, man. It's people go like imagine if I don't know people did get to see Oppenheimer because someone was not the right color.
Don't like they're like, well, Christopher Nolan went woke. I'm like, what does that even mean to you? Like woke? Like he
the way I put it is that Christopher Nolan is very much like Rockstar in the sense the fact if they tell you a movie, a video game is coming out, you don't need to know diddly shit. You already buy your ticket.
Yep. Yeah. He produced nothing but bangers, man. Even his worst movie, Tenant, which I'd probably give like a 6 out of 10, is still a 6 out of 10. Like it's not bad.
No.
And every like out of the 5 I've given 5 stars on, I can tell you like the 3 Batmans that he produced, Batman Begins 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, Dark Knight 5, Dark Knight Rises 5.
Yeah. And Tenant, yes, Tenant isn't probably one of his better films, but you cannot find another film that is shot like that. You cannot find a film that's the story is like that and it's shot in that unique fashion. There is nothing like it.
No, and I'm just like people post these memes like, well, he's gone woke, like I'll be skipping the Odyssey. I'm like, bro, honestly, you're just like, I don't know why you'd publish that to the world. Like, I'm gonna show you just how racist or how little I can think for myself because this news agency told me that there's a transgender person cast as a soldier in the movie. Who gives a shit? And I'm not gonna see it because of that, or like the language thing or the group. I'm just like,
I think it was.
Oh, go ahead.
Like I said, I think people also forget that transgender person was actually she is a good actor. Like she is
Amazing.
Yeah, so I think it's not like he's just plucked somebody out of nowhere. I'm like, she has good film credentials behind her.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Sorry, behind him now, whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. I get it. No, but he is great. Like I just did it there too. He's great. Like he was great in the X-Men franchise as Kitty Pryde. He was great in Juno. Like they're a great actor.
Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, amazing. Like, and so like, it's not just any schmo. And like honestly, who cares? Like if they can act, like if they're a crappy actor, then yeah, criticize. But they're a great actor. And people posting that like I'll be skipping the Odyssey because of this. I'm like, you're just robbing yourself, man, of like a really good theater experience. At the very least, even if the movie is not that good, the fact that it's shot in IMAX, like you're in for a theatrical experience that is impactful visually. Like if you appreciate good acting, like for everything that I've read so far, which I haven't read a lot.
It's gonna be brilliant.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
Like Matt Damon gives a generational performance. Rob Pattinson gives his best. Like I feel like Rob Pattinson gives his best performance in every movie now. Like it's like, oh, this guy's incredible. But like, just don't rob yourself of that experience. Because you disagree with like one little thing of some political stance somebody took, and these same people. Like there's this movie out in the United States right now called Young Washington, based on the life of George Washington.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
it's lame as shit, bro. It's exactly what you think. It's produced by this shit studios, Angel Studios. It's a total just. It's just nothing. Like it's nothing. Like people that want like nothing of like, oh yeah, like I feel good about America and all these different things. Like yeah, they'll like it, but you just can't compare.
No, I saw it was like, oh, Young Washington has made this much money. I was like, when did this movie? When did this happen? When did this movie come out? Like, I haven't heard anyone talk about this movie.
No, and I went and saw it on like the 3rd of July or something, and I was just like, this is what is this? Like, this is just nothing, man. This is just nothing. Like, I go in here and I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel good about America for 20 seconds, but that's it. Like, it's just there's no nuance at all. There's no nothing. It's just boring. It's honestly boring. Compared to like the Odyssey that's done by the greatest filmmaker living. Like,
so far, yeah.
Oh man, like I'm just like, why would you rob yourself of that experience? I don't understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, on a budget of $29 million.
For Young Washington?
Yep. Uh, with mixed reviews. Someone wrote, though its muted storytelling keeps it from being the rousing epic it inspires to be. Rousing battle sequences, but nothing more.
Well, you know the fucking Odyssey is going to be way better than
100%. Yeah.
dude. So yeah, and it's just a weird world we live in, to where like it's just like they're seriously pissed off about the dumbest things, and so the
Yep.
Odyssey is the latest victim of that.
Yeah. And Odyssey, budget of 250 million. Right on the cusp of it coming out. And I think, responses to history inaccuracies doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, they're all anticipating this is going to make a lot of money.
Dude,
Yeah.
crazy, man. Dude, when
Yeah.
well, to end, man, where can people find you? Where can they go to find your?
As always, you can find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram. Always look up Lights Camera Rant or Mr. Rant, where we have new episodes that come out every single week. We go live every single weekend. We review the latest in movies, TV shows, and video games. And currently right now, my next episode will be about Moana.
Did you see it?
Yeah. Went to the premiere for it.
Did you like it, or did you think it was shit?
I'll give you a little taste of my review for it. It's pretty much just a beat for beat. Like it's nice, it's pretty, it's not bad, but it very much is just a beat for the first one.
So it'll make $1 billion in Disney, and they'll continue to just put these out.
And yep, I just think that also the fact that the Rock's looking old.
Dude,
And they probably should have shot this film probably maybe 6 years ago.
I'm a little over the Rock, man. I'm a little over the Rock. Like his whole like Black Adam thing, and how he like present himself as Black Adam, and the arrogance and stuff, and like the behind the scenes stuff that came out, where like he signed this. I think he does this for every movie that he's in, but he signs a contract where he cannot lose a fight ever. And just like the power of the DC universe is about to change, and then it just
you plummeted. Plummeted, mate. Yeah.
Like I thought he was good in that movie too, but he talks so much. I'm like, and his movies are so predictable. Like back then, like the action hero star, you're like, okay, his movies are okay, but now every time The Rock's in it, like a Netflix show, I'll skip it. Like I haven't seen a Rock movie in years.
For me, 3 days ago. No. I've been to
whatever, but
I don't know what he's. I don't know. He's looking old, and now he's skinny as shit.
Is he on the shot, the Ozempic shot?
I think he's taking off. He's not taking the steroids anymore.
A special pill.
Special pills.
Man.
Yeah. But no, thank you for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. It's always a good time. It's always an absolute banger with you.
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. And thanks for being part of our 50 episodes and the next 50 more. And I hope for a fucking brand new day.
Yeah, brand new day.